And the Oscar goes to Parasite.
Hey everybody, what up? This is an impromptu, just talking about, I guess, all the Oscar stuff that won. And it's mostly gonna be about how great Parasite was.
Korea v. America, Korea won. It was like a one-man army versus like a giant fleet.
Yeah, one thing that I love specifically about it at the end is Bong Joon Ho, like, very clearly, like, could have talked, I guess, and he was like, "Hey, I've been up here 3 times." Like,
yeah,
Like, yeah. But and then like for some reason they turned off the lights for a second.
okay, yeah.
Like that was so
Yeah,
rude.
what
I think they were
happened?
trying to play them. I think they were trying to play them off, but also like, I don't
yeah, that's what
know.
I assumed.
That just felt so weird. I was like, why? Why is this happening? Why are you trying to ruin this moment?
They hadn't even been talking for that long.
Also, I thought there was a moment where like I thought the audience was gonna boo for some reason.
Oh my god, that would be the worst.
Can you imagine?
Like,
we want a Joker. No, but Parasite, came away with the most Oscar wins, which
really?
is awesome.
The most.
Yeah, I got
Oscars.
4.
Like, yeah. I
Yeah.
got 4.
Which is crazy. But I don't know. I like it when there's years like this when they spread it around and it's not really like Titanic winning 11 things.
Oh my god, Parasite won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one felt long again.
Oh yeah.
I thought
especially like the thing that really annoyed me was like the quote unquote comedy jokes went on for so long. I was like,
they were really bad this year. Like normally I'm like, oh, whatever.
Like they go by like sort of like fairly okay length where it's like, okay, I'm not fully furious, but like the one with Chris Rock, I was like, is this ever going to end?
Okay, why was Eminem there?
Oh my god, everyone's faces were so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I was like, what's happening?
What is going on?
What is the reason?
Martin Scorsese's sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know. What
Billie
a legend.
Eilish's face.
I love when Marty's face was like, okay, what's this? Like, oh my god. Even my mom was like thinking, wait, why is Eminem here?
We like
What was
joked
the
that was
point?
gonna happen because like during the montage thing they were on 8 Mile for so long and we were like,
Yeah,
why are they
it's
still
really
on 8
weird.
Mile? And my friend was like, what if Eminem pops up out of the floor and just sings the entirety of Lose Yourself? And then that happened.
Wait,
I have a hot take on that. I think it's because Ford v Ferrari was the next movie to win, and that's set in Detroit, right?
oh no.
Is it?
Oh,
no,
I mean, no,
is it not?
it
I thought it was. Aren't
No, I
Ford
don't think
Motors
so.
in
Oh.
Detroit?
I just meant I was gonna say apparently I think the reason why is because I just read something on Twitter like Eminem like turned down like performing that when he won for the song.
Oh,
But
still
I was-
weird though.
It was the
Weird.
weirdest. That was
It felt
actually
so
the
Weird that
weirdest.
they didn't say that and they were just,
Yeah.
it's Eminem.
It was like, here's Eminem. I thought it was them being like, this is what the kids want, right? Will this give us ratings?
Well, I mean, they
Like,
might have done
yeah.
that, but he just tweeted something about it, and that was like interesting. So I kind of forgot that song even won, but apparently it did. But he didn't perform it there.
Well, that's,
Okay.
I was telling someone, I was like, I think this is like taking the place of one of the song performances, maybe.
Oh, it didn't. I don't.
You know,
think.
I was always.
But
I was,
no, it did not.
I was so disappointed that they played that instead of the Venom theme.
yeah, we did want to hear that.
I would have been on the floor laughing like so loudly.
Especially if Tom Hardy comes out in that moment.
Oh, that would have been the cherry on top.
I'm trying to think. It was. Do they normally do Best Supporting at the start? I guess that's their new thing.
Like,
Yeah,
what did they-
yeah.
Last year they did Best Supporting Actress for the first one, I think.
Why'd they?
I think
hate
they
how
like
they
to-
separate Best Supporting and Actress and Actor.
I think that they like to start off with like a big one to get people hooked, So
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah,
I think that's usually what they
if
do.
they pick up the obvious one for Brad Pitt, which
Right.
like, did anyone
Yeah.
think that like Joe Pesci was gonna win?
Hopkins
all of
had
my
a
friends
chance.
who hadn't seen any of the movies did.
Yeah.
They were like, "Who's nominated? Joe Pesci? Sure."
Also,
Joe Pesci didn't even show up. I think.
no, I think he was there.
I think he
Because
was
they
there.
didn't.
Like,
Because they grayed him out. I know what you're talking about. I actually don't know why. Maybe Joe Pesci was like, "Don't show my face, please."
like if he would have won, he probably would have just like said 3 words and left.
Yeah, but going to like the start of it, I actually thought Janelle Monáe was really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Well,
like
the only thing
she was great.
I would say,
until like they did the cringeworthy like montage where they showed the farewell,
Well-
Midsommar, the lighthouse. Like, oh wow, fuck
Did
you.
they show the farewell?
Yeah, they showed the farewell for 1 minute. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So
wow,
my thing with that is, it's like, oh hey, how are you gonna show A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Us, the farewell,
Midsommar.
I
The
guess,
Lighthouse.
and Midsummer, all of which aren't nominated
And
for
Dolomite.
much collectively.
Yeah.
Also,
I
like,
must
yeah,
have missed that in the beginning.
farewell for nothing, Midsommar for nothing. Yet you like they have like that huge prop of all the flowers where they put on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like,
they were just
dressed
probably
up
like,
as a
these are the
Maid Queen.
films of 2019.
Dang.
Yeah, they didn't,
I
Yeah,
they
missed
didn't
even
know
though
what to
they
do
weren't
for
nominated.
the Irishman. They couldn't just put people in coats and be like, "Get it?
This
They're-
guy's wearing a normal suit. Get it? He's
Yeah.
in the mob.
One of my
That's
friends
costume
sitting
design.
behind me was like, "I wouldn't be mad if Joker won for costume design." I was like, "It's one suit," and she was like, "Yeah, but it looks good." And I'm
Exactly.
like, "Shut the fuck up."
That would have been so freaking awful.
I'm gonna send her this episode of the podcast. Sunny,
They
if
should-
you're listening, you were wrong about Joker.
Yeah, I'm
It's
so
so
happy
funny.
that Little Women
They should
won
have
that.
had. They should have had a couple of Little Women come out.
Oh
Oh
my
my
Well, they
God.
had people in like elaborate dresses. I don't know if that was for Little Women though,
Maybe.
because they had
I
like
mean,
1917 soldiers, so it wasn't
it's
Oh,
just like
did they? Maybe there were
people
more
who
that
were
I just
snubbed.
didn't notice.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the trick. If you distract people, they're like, whatever, pretty colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one, I mean, Toy Story was kind of obvious. Brad Pitt was kind of
Yeah.
obvious.
all my art,
Joaquin
like
Phoenix was pretty obvious.
everyone.
All the acting ones.
I
yeah.
watched it. I watched the
They're like
Oscars
Guten
with
Dada.
all my art school friends, and they were all so upset that Toy Story won. I was like,
Oh, I bet.
God,
the whole
like I was like thinking,
Toy Story's gonna win.
I was thinking the whole time, Toy Story, Toy Story, Toy Story, Toy Story. Even though I really wanted,
Yeah,
I lost my body.
yeah. And
Actually,
Klaus,
that
they were like
is-
so
I-
upset.
That is one of the categories I lost. I got 20 out of 24 predictions, but I
I got 17.
didn't get.
I got like 3.
Yeah, I didn't
I
go
got-
down
I
after
did the
one.
Like
best
out
out
of
of
24,
my
I got
friends.
15.
If I had just put Toy Story like I knew it was going to win, I would have gotten 21.
Well, for whatever reason in my head, I just kept saying, I was like, oh, the Oscars are taking place around Christmas, like holiday spirit's still there
Yeah.
when they vote. So I was
Also,
like,
Klaus
maybe
was
it'll get a boost.
amazing.
Klaus
It
was
was.
amazing.
Yeah,
But
but-
no, the one I was going to mention that I guess it wasn't that big of a surprise. I'd say it was between 2 little shorts, but Hair Love won.
Hello.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
really happy about it.
I was
I
so
watched that
happy.
today. Super
Yeah,
Yeah.
so did I. I was
love
really
Hair Love,
happy
yeah.
that Neighbor's Window won because I just watched it and I was like, that was a damn good short.
Yeah, I got all of the
Interesting.
shorts right too.
Nice.
I didn't
I
get
got
around to those.
none of those right.
I only
Like,
got
literally
learning how to
none of
skateboard.
them.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I was really happy because my family was like, "Oh, hey, can we watch Hair Love?" And I was like, "It's on YouTube." So yes, of course.
I watched American Factory today because I didn't watch like any of the documentaries, but after I
Yeah.
watched it, I was like, this is definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
And like I was pretty
Like,
happy.
I
with
didn't
it.
even
I haven't
see
seen
American
Honeyland,
Factory, but I'm like the name and the premise and all. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna win. And I was right.
I like
Well,
first Sama better, but I'm happy with American Factory.
I knew
Yeah,
they
I-
were gonna play off the American Factory people because that lady talked for so long at the Spirit Awards
Oh,
last
yeah.
night. I was like, they're gonna play
Oh.
them off, and then they started playing the music, and I was like, yep.
I mean, I did, like I said, I didn't see any of the other documentaries, but for some reason I watched that one today and I was like, yeah, it'll probably win because it just seemed like so. I mean, it's really good. So I mean,
I thought I was hearing more talk about Forsama for whatever reason, and maybe it's just because I'm friends with Lindsay.
Maybe. That's a good
And I'm realizing this
possibility.
now. I shouldn't just go off. I actually put Rocket Man for Best Picture. That was a big miss on
That
my
was
part.
See, that's just from my influence.
At least it won Best Song.
Rocket Man is an award
Oh
It
my
is.
God.
Academy Award film Rocket Man.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I kept waiting for Taryn to like surprise show up.
Yeah, where the
though.
hell was Taryn?
Where
Oh
was
my God.
Taryn Edgerton?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it
Also,
hurt not to
fuck you,
see him
Elton.
there.
You forgot to mention Dexter Fletcher.
Oh yeah, he forgot to thank Dexter. I was like, oh shit.
He was like, I know I'm forgetting someone.
And I was like, it's the director! You're forgetting the director!
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but Matthew Vaughn, like, yeah, fuck that.
Oh my God.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple obvious ones, but I guess we won't touch on. Roger Deakins felt
Yeah.
obvious, but that was
Yeah.
cool to see
Yeah,
him
that was
there.
dope.
Oh, that was
Probably
good.
the
Well
moment
deserved.
I laughed. Probably the moment I laughed at the most was when James Corden and
Oh,
Rebel
that was
Wilson from the hit
horrifying.
film Cats.
That was cat slander because they got the two worst cats.
They
Right?
did. They
I
got the
literally
two
said
worst
that. I was like,
cats.
and they bring out the
no
worst
joke,
cats.
I was literally laughing on the floor. Like I was like drooling when that happened.
Oh God!
Oh.
I thought it
Because,
was
like-
a little. I thought it
Because
was
like I
weird.
knew James Corden was going on. And I'm like, oh shit, why? And I was like,
when they said Rebel Wilson and James Corden, I was like, please no cats, and then they were dressed up as the cats.
like yeah, I did not expect that. And for visual effects, oh my Jesus.
Honestly, I think it's because Brian Tyree. Oh God, I'm trying to remember his name. And Melissa McCarty, they got on stage and they were in like a weird like.
Oh yeah.
And that was funny. So I think they were trying to be like, oh hey, people like weird humor, and that's what because people. I remember like the things people were tweeting about the Oscars last time was the weird stuff because they were like, isn't this crazy? It's happening, and I think they ramped it up way too much. Oh man.
Yeah.
I really liked the way they introduced all the best score nominees.
Yeah,
It
that was
more
Yeah.
interesting than just
Actually,
like
I think-
look at a
pretty much-
person.
I think I could say the same for all the categories because one of the biggest things
Yeah.
I hated about last year was the way they presented all the categories was so fucking insulting and boring, especially like Best Picture. Like they just have some flashy like waves shit. It's just like Vice, Green Book. It's like that's it. That's how you're gonna present Best Picture?
Bring back the what was it like the 2014 Oscars where they had the really
Yeah,
cool like graphic
like,
motion graphics.
I-
I want to
I
like
know-
do something like that just for fun for
Like
this year's
imagine the
Oscars.
Parasite graphics where it's like maybe like you show like them with like the crosses and like have the house
Yeah.
presented in like
Well,
a cool way.
Hey,
I really
don't
like
send that
specifically-
picture of Timmy in the chat.
Oh,
He looks like Sue
Peaches.
Sylvester from Glee.
I don't know why he was wearing a tracksuit,
Yeah,
but no, I
tracksuit.
really like what they did with the screenplay. Was really neat.
Yeah, that was
And-
awesome.
I'm trying to think. There were a couple others where I was just like, "Oh, this is
I-
really like you went above and beyond."
Okay,
Yeah.
that screenplay thing though, I laughed so hard when the 1917 thing came on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
I was like, this is
I
the
love
best
that
part
movie.
you can choose.
I love that movie, but
it
that really just shows
Yeah.
that they messed up there. Like,
falls
Yeah.
off into
Well-
a waterfall.
Like you couldn't have chose like a more interesting part.
Well, then again, the dialogue from that movie was terrible. So, like, what else did they could have done?
Same with when they showed best adapted screenplay. They had Joker, and they were like, Joker
Oh,
goes down the steps to the
like, why
tune
did they
of.
show that?
I know.
Yeah,
Bob
it
Chishol's
was not a
yada,
good
All the
part.
yada.
scenes, you chose the memeiest one ever.
I think they
Why?
Yeah.
chose the part
No,
where
they're such
we're gonna
cowards.
werewolf out.
They're such cowards for not choosing the I thought my life was a comedy or a tragedy.
A
Right.
tragedy. But now I realize it's a fucking comedy.
I saw that
man.
Or
quote
like
on a
all I have are
sweatshirt in the
negative
mall.
thoughts, or like you.
Wait,
like,
that's on a sweatshirt in the mall?
Yeah, it was a picture of
Like,
Joker
you're gonna
dancing,
get
a
what you
silhouette,
fucking
and a quote
deserved.
on the inside of him.
Yes. Time to go
I'll
run
send
to the
you. I
local
took a
mall.
picture of it. I'll send it to you.
Okay, dope. But yeah, no. I guess the ones that were surprising that we've sort of already alluded to. I mean, Renee wasn't really a surprise, and it was a little bit of a letdown.
She was
Like,
talking
yeah.
for
Definitely
so
let down.
long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
That's the thing for me is Phoenix is like a very. I'm not saying like Renee Zellweger is a pretty established actor, and maybe I'm saying this because like I'm younger and I don't have like the I'm not as connected as like Bridget Jones in Chicago, But like seeing Phoenix up there for so long and Bong Joon Ho,
That
like, I
was
was
a
like,
great
oh,
speech.
this is awesome. And then Renee Zellweger, I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, good for you.
Good for
voice
you,
is
but
just too,
she
like,
didn't
Probably the
deserve
biggest-
it. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
my biggest surprise was when Bong Joon Ho won Best Director.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I think it's okay. I have a theory on that. Also, before I guess I touch on theory, Ray Romano dropped an F-bomb. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah. Wait, why did they cut that out? I'm like, oh wait,
This is the new timeline we live in, where Ray Romano, the lead in the best family sitcom ever, dropping F-bombs on live ABC television. But no, I think with the Pong thing, I think it's because they were like, well, we can't say bong. We can't keep saying bong, you know?
That's his name.
But that's what I think it was. They're like, if we say bong, then the kids are going to be out buying bongs. There's going to be a spike in bongs, man. People are going to be making Bong Joon Ho bongs. And to correct this, they're like, just say pong. And then the kids will be playing Atari.
I mean, but what about all the Korean kids? They're all going to be insulted.
For sure, yeah. When everybody calls them Pong. But yeah.
I love that every speech Bong ended. He was like, I'm going to drink until the next morning. Goodbye.
I know, what a legend.
Yeah.
What an icon.
Awesome
He's
guy.
our favorite. But yeah, no, I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there were obviously Timmy on the red carpet in his jumpsuit.
Obviously.
Oh yeah,
Natalie
like
Portman's look was
the
real
in
good.
memoriam thing. I was like shocked as fuck when they announced Agnes Varda. Like I was almost like they're probably not going to announce her because they're like they just want to focus on Hollywood and not anything else around the world. And then when they announced Agnes Varda's name, I was like, holy shit, they actually are announcing her. Like as like rest in peace, Agnes Varda. Oh my god.
I mean, they usually put like everybody that's prominent in the film industry.
I mean, I'm
not gonna lie. I was playing Rocket League during the in memoriam.
Oh hey.
I'm sorry.
I mean, there were a few like actors that were not shown that I know who have passed away.
My friend was really mad they didn't show Carol Spinney, who was like Big Bird, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is a miss. Dang. Trying to think. Another thing is I didn't love who they like decided with front row.
Really?
Because they had. Well, it's just I don't know. It's just like Tom Hanks is great, but I feel like I don't know. I wanted Bong front and center. I wanted Martin Scorsese front and center.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, that reminded me. Like, what do you think of the Academy Museum that they're supposedly announcing?
That's cool.
That's cool.
I thought, I don't know, like if that takes the place of more ads, I'm cool if I said this to Jude and Jude hates the idea, which is fair. But I was like, oh yeah, if the Academy would just like work in ads instead of the jokes and just like make them somewhat watchable and then you skip the commercials, I think everybody would be way happier.
Yeah.
I mean, but then there's people like my mom who are laughing the entire time.
Yeah, maybe the jokes work. Maybe they
like
land.
Yeah, they work for some, but like, you know, for people that don't like that sense of humor, it's so fucking painful.
I thought you mentioned that Chris Rock. I actually liked Chris Rock's a little bit.
Nah, like they went on for far too long.
I didn't really think the humor was that bad. I mean, all award shows are kind of cringy. This one didn't particularly stand out to me.
This one wasn't
awful.
as bad as last year's. Like especially like nothing.
I liked last year. What?
Like nothing. Well, at least nothing was as bad as like the intro where like those three were like, well, we're not your host this year. And like, yeah, we acknowledge that like we almost scrapped best cinematography and stuff. Like I said, we're just gonna make a joke about that and not acknowledge that was a terrible idea and that we're stupid and like. Yeah,
I think it would have been a fine idea as long as they only kept cinematography.
Yeah, but it's like they're trying to make it like, no, we're not like terrible people that made some idiotic ideas.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing, I'm trying to think of what the cringy stuff that I didn't necessarily like. I actually thought because I normally really like them, Maya Rudolph and
Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig. I feel like
I did not like that.
Yeah, it didn't work at first, but then when Martin Scorsese started laughing hysterically, I was like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah, speaking of Marty, like that was probably some of like the unintentionally funny stuff.
Oh, and then I
Like,
remember
his
the other one.
expressions, like were like, oh my god.
The girl from Veep and Will Ferrell, I thought was.
Did you just call Julia Louis-Dreyfus the girl
I'm
from
sorry,
Veep?
I don't know.
Hey!
Oh yeah,
so many Emmys.
I kind of like how like during the rap in the mid where they made fun of John Travolta with Adele Dazeem.
I did like that.
Oh yeah, that was
They
good.
mentioned that
Yeah.
like multiple times.
They did. I was like,
That's
freaking
what I
drag
wanted
him,
to
guys,
Like,
drag him.
I think it's
Where
because
was John Travolta?
I actually was slightly looking over in the In Memoriam because I was like, are they gonna put John Travolta's career in the In Memoriam?
Oh my god.
No, but I don't know. I think it's just because he was like, you know what? I'm gonna self-fund my Oscar campaign for The Fanatic, and they're like, all right, John. Well, here's what we're gonna do to you.
That would have been so fucking funny. Can you imagine?
It would have been terrible, but I
And
would
like
have laughed.
so disrespectful to the actual people who died.
For sure.
But like, can you imagine how funny?
Well, do you remember a couple years ago when like they put someone in the memoriam and they tweeted out,
Hey, I'm not dead.
I'm not dead yet.
I remember
Oh my
that.
god.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm trying to think if there's any. Did they perform Glasgow's?
No, that wasn't nominated.
Yes, it was from Wild Rose.
I don't think that nominated.
No, it wasn't.
Why does it
That
have
got
that's
snubbed.
weird. Oh, that's weird.
I mean, the breakthrough song was awful.
Yeah, it was really like generic.
I thought the singer was fine, but yeah, no, the song was generic.
Yeah, the singer was good, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wait. Actually, it's good y'all bring that up. I actually really liked what they did with Frozen 2.
too.
Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
pretty good. My mom was like, Frozen 2 is gonna win. Frozen 2 is gonna win.
That like made my heart swell. I was just like, oh, I love that they just brought all these different women out.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and they were doing all the different languages.
Yeah.
However, I was a little bit worried because Lin-Manuel was the one that like introduced it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have like all these people talking different languages." And I was like, "Wait, is the different language the girl going?" Ooh? I was like,
Oh,
"That's not."
wait, hey!
Why would that be?
Why would
I
you
don't know, I
think
thought they were
that?
I thought they were like, "Oh well, she's making noises, but in a different language." So
Oh my
it
god!
counts.
sure.
Hey.
I like that they had that girl going like, "Ooh," like sitting next to Greta
Yeah.
Gerwig the whole time.
I know. She was just sitting there with her like elf outfit still on.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, go off, sis.
Also, wait, I remember one other thing. Laura Dern's mom looks so much like Laura Dern, and I get that's how children work, but like they look identical.
Yeah, they look very
It was
similar.
like I was watching The Irishman,
Oh my god.
only Laura Dern's life, which I want to see.
Did the Irishman win anything?
No,
it
I
did
didn't.
not.
No.
Neither did
Rip
Marriage
Martin
Story.
Scorsese.
Yeah,
The
neither did
Irishman
Marriage Story.
and Marriage Story.
Yeah.
I mean, Laura Dern won.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
yeah.
you're right.
Oh my god, I
Exactly.
kept thinking
I
that
was
for Little
literally talking
Women.
about Laura Dern.
I know, I kept thinking about her
Yeah.
with Little Women, but yeah, it was.
I was
Laura
Marriage
Dern's
Story.
just like independent in my mind. Like she just
I
went for
think-
being Laura Dern.
I honestly think it's because in her speech, Greta Gerwig was crying and not Noah Baumbach, so I was like, oh,
Yeah,
well, like,
Yeah.
this is for Little Women.
yeah, I just like associated with. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's about it. If you guys have other thoughts you want to throw out real quick.
One part that I really liked and almost cried at was when they were showing all like the international feature montage of like the older stuff from like
That
Pedro
was really cool.
Almodovar and Federico Fellini, Akira Kurosawa. I was shocked that they showed Dreams. I was like, holy crap!
Yeah, they had a pretty good set of films.
Like
I
In the
hope
Mood for
somebody
Love, I
liked
think was there, and
City of God. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
City
think
of
of
God, that was
others.
a
Under
good
the
one.
City of God.
that was a
Yeah.
big one.
No, I was very impressed with like the selections they went with.
Yeah.
They did that the year
Yeah.
before. I think they've done that a couple
Yeah.
years
But
because
like,
they've had a pretty good montage.
Yeah. no love exposure though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no one's seen Love Exposure.
Once
come on.
once the film club members get into the academy. Love it.
then it'll make it.
Sion Sono, come on, please take over for next year.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Evan?
I was just gonna mention, like, because I think you brought it up earlier. It's just that, like, I think they did do a pretty good job of like spreading the awards. Like, not that like they should do that, but like, I don't know, everything that won, like what it won, it pretty much felt right to me. Or like first or second pick. I mean, it's all opinions,
Yes,
but like,
Yeah,
I think
Like,
they
there
did a
were
good job
no-
like spreading it
yeah.
around. Except
Like, there-
for like maybe like they didn't give anything to the Irishman, but I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Like,
But
you know, I was
I
actually
think
like
that's
not upset at all at any of the wins. Like I couldn't say that I was furious at anything.
yeah. I was like mostly like
Yeah.
shocked and happy at what won instead of what I thought was gonna win.
The only thing that I guess throw out a little bit is with the Irishman, it sort of felt like it wasn't gonna win anything before. Like it lost I guess the hype that was surrounding it prior. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Like all the every win, even if they were expected, like they're still in the top two. Whereas last year, I mean, I'm gonna put it in the thumbnail, so I guess like y'all will have already seen this for the people listening on YouTube. But like just the glow up from like giving Bohemian Rhapsody like 5 awards.
Oh God!
Next
Have
year.
you seen that YouTube video where it's?
I have, yeah, of the editing.
Yeah.
And like, look, I know Ford v Ferrari isn't like everyone's favorite movie. That movie
No.
has great editing.
Yeah, the
Like,
editing
yeah.
is
No,
wonderful.
Like,
it
I was
won.
thinking the whole
Yeah, it's
time,
good.
like, I really want Parasite to win editing, but like, if it Ford v Ferrari wins, like, I'm fine. Like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, even though I wanted Jinmo to win.
I was a little bit disappointed in 1917 winning visual effects.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah.
what I was gonna mention. That's what I had winning the Irishman for.
Okay.
For its
See,
win.
Yeah.
I had Endgame because I was just like, oh, okay, well maybe because like it's really the end of everything. That's like their acknowledgement, I guess. I don't know.
I predicted 1917 because last year I was sure that Infinity War would win, and then they gave it to First Man. So I was
Yeah,
like,
I was certain-
Oh, smart.
You know, I was certain that First Man was going to win. So, like last year.
Big brain
I don't know.
moves.
I thought that the de-aging stuff actually like looked pretty good in the Irishman,
Oh,
and
same.
I thought
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that had to have been like where it would win something, because like like you were saying, it was kind of hard to figure out what it would win, and I mean it didn't win anything. So I mean that's where I thought it would win.
I
Yeah.
just heard from a couple of people that they thought it looked off-putting, so I was like, I don't think it's got like enough backing it. And the only other thing I guess is I actually really do love the visual effects in The Irishman, mostly because like I walk away from that being like, wait, what does Robert De Niro look like? Like here
Yeah.
now?
I don't know,
Um,
something about his eyes like made me really uncomfortable with the date.
Like,
That's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
think,
just
like,
Just like a little
think-
too
yeah.
smooth.
You and I
Yeah.
admit, like, the only moment that the de-aging didn't work was when, like, he went into the shop and, like, beat the shit out of, like, the owner. And, like, you can clearly tell this is just some old boomer that, like, couldn't,
I
like,
didn't,
go
I didn't
physically.
notice that for whatever reason. And I don't know. I've seen the video that someone put together of that, but are y'all surprised that Once Upon a Time didn't I guess get more Oscars? I guess that's the only one.
Nah.
Other than that was like a
Not
big
really.
Nah.
Nah.
Same.
It won.
No, I was
production
kind of a
design,
bit
right, or
disappointed that
Yeah,
didn't
it
win
won
Best
production
Costume.
design.
I guess I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't win Best Costume because, like, the
Oh.
moment when I saw, like, those costumes in this and, like, those production photos back in, like, May or something, like, yeah, I was like, wow, this looks awesome. I really wish this would win Best Costume Design.
Yeah, but they really love dresses
But-
with the Oscars.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
really
Little
am
Women.
very
Yeah,
happy that
yeah,
Little Women.
so-
Yeah, Little Women deserved something.
Little
Yeah,
Women
it was-
deserved adapted screenplay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really thought. Oh, actually, it's good you mentioned that, Lindsay, because I guess I can talk about like the ones that I got wrong. I said before this, and I'll take the egg in my face. I'm completely wrong. I was like, if Taika wins adapted screenplay, that's a sign that JoJo's going to win Best Picture. Way wrong.
Like,
I was-
yeah.
oh,
I was
yeah.
incorrect.
You know, I was
Normally
just
I'd agree with
predicting-
you, but-
I was predicting JoJo was going to win screenplay.
yeah, I got that right. I predicted
Yeah,
it.
I only thought that because it's been like sweeping it everywhere else. So.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, Greta winning would have been cool. I really actually did want to see Greta on stage in some aspect.
Yeah, I'm happy she was one of the
Yeah.
people in the front row, though. My friend texted me a picture
sure.
of like her TV, and she was like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "That's Greta Gerwig."
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure a lot of like people are like, wait, who's Bong?
Pong. But yeah, do y'all have any other things to throw out? I guess real quick.
Well, I guess like to kind of maybe end it off. Do you think the ratings will go up? From the previous 2 years.
Well, okay. See, my biggest thing is like, they went back up from 2019, and the thing that they really need to realize is Hollywood does this a lot. Is they were like, oh well, we got bad ratings because like people didn't like the movies, so we have to nominate like more better established movies, which like sort of makes sense. But also like the main movie you were propping up that year was the Fishy Love movie in 2018, where they were like the ratings are bad.
Yeah, I did not like that.
So like, I don't know. In my head, like even something like Three Billboards, I feel like people weren't really talking about. And there wasn't like looking through the actors, like yeah, people sort of know who Gary Oldman and Frances McDormand are, but Daniel Day-Lewis and Denzel, sure, I guess, but no one really saw both those movies. And just I feel like I hope this doesn't become a trend, like they have to nominate the stars because of it. But yeah, no, you get people the next year like Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper and Willem Dafoe, and even to a certain extent Viggo Mortensen, I guess, and you have Lady Gaga there, and there's actual stars, then like the ratings do go back a little bit up, and then you have things like Black Panther, which was awesome. Like it was really cool to see a departure. But the only thing I'd say is I feel like there's like Leo, Brad Pitt. I don't know. I want to see how the Bong Hive translates to actual views, because I know it's like a film Twitter thing, and it's great. It's awesome that that's happening. And it would be cool if that was actually like quantifiable.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know,
but I think because of Parasite, it's been big.
No, Parasite has changed the game.
Like,
well, to be honest, I mean, it's probably not just Phoenix, but I think like just because Joker got nominated so much, like I'm sure a lot of people watched because of that.
Oh yeah,
like my sister's boyfriend was watching because of that. Yeah. So I mean, like, there you go.
Yeah, it got the most nominations, but only won 2, I think.
I'm trying to think other things that I guess they could have. I don't know. I honestly like. I know a couple people were complaining about the nominees, and like the no female directors is like a bummer.
Yeah, that's the big thing that they just like.
Yeah,
why?
But honestly, like not the worst. Like it's up there in like how they spread everything out, what they nominated. I mean, Joker. Okay, yeah,
and like
Joker,
the one person of color in all the actors. Out of 20.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't the greatest in terms of that, but I mean, yeah, it'll be curious to see how people react to it, because I mean, now I'm sure everybody's gonna be super happy either way because Parasite sweep. So
yeah,
for sure.
Like, yeah.
Parasite.
And I hope ideally that like opens it up for someone like Sung Kang-ho to get nominated for any foreign film.
I can't wait for like
cool.
Park Chan-wook and Kim Ki-duk and Kim Ji-woon, Lee Chang-dong.
Yeah.
Like all the gang.
All those boys. Yeah.
And like maybe like all around the world as well. Like Celine Sciamma. Like,
oh my god, it was 3 hours and 35 minutes.
Like like why is it so long? Like
I just saw it because I was looking at Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing. Like I feel like it's way too long.
Yeah. It is what it is at this point.
Like especially like with like the 2017-2018 one, there was like so much filler that just did not need to be there.
What were you gonna say, Evan?
Oh, I was just gonna say my last thing was just I'm so disappointed in myself, and like also because of the movie, it's probably really, really great. Pain and Glory. I'm gonna watch it soon because I feel bad that it didn't like.
It's really good.
Because I felt like for some reason I had this thing in my mind where I kind of thought that Parasite might win Best Picture, and I was like, maybe they'll give like the international to like Pain and Glory or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like when I was like watching, I was like telling my dad, like maybe they'll give Pain and Glory something. So like maybe
so I'm definitely gonna rent that and try and catch that this week and watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I recommend it. It's very good.
Yeah.
I didn't fall for that because I did that in
for last year because I was like, oh well, Cold War got 3 nominations, so maybe they'll give it to Cold War, and then Roma's gonna win Best Picture. And then...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Meh,
Interesting.
meh.
Oh wait, that reminded me. Lighthouse getting like snubbed over 1917. Yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment.
Oh,
For-
1917 had great cinematography.
I mean,
so-
I
Yeah,
love this.
I was
Yeah,
happy with
no,
1917.
I don't agree. No.
Oh wait, are we serious here? 1917.
Yeah, 1917 had amazing cinematography, so I'm not.
No, especially compared
Oh,
to 20.
okay. Well, you're in the
2000.
minority there.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Can I be honest? Like, I haven't seen the Goldfinch, but from what I've seen of the Goldfinch from the trailers, I honestly looks more impressive
That's oh my gosh.
Anyway, the right movie won
Um,
cinematography.
Fine. Like, you go have your 1917. I'll have my Lighthouse.
Honestly, okay, I have a little beef with the Lighthouse. Like, I know I didn't like
know. I saw your review.
No, it's not just a review. It's just mostly like I feel like A24, like, oh, we'll push Uncut Gems in the Lighthouse like a ton, and it's like, guys, you literally had the Farewell in your pocket. Like, what?
I know, and they didn't push it at all.
Yeah.
A24 is just so bad.
Did they
at,
really?
like,
But
campaigning
honestly,
for their
I
movies.
guess say, did they really push like anything? Like,
Yeah,
did they
like,
really?
honestly,
they
not
didn't
that-
really push anything.
Like,
Like,
I'm,
yeah,
being, I'm,
it's
I'm
like
actually
they
just being real. I don't
I mean-
think A24 really pushes for Oscars like at all. They
Yeah,
haven't
they,
like
like-
I
any
mean,
year.
they did for Moonlight.
Well, they did
Yeah,
with
except for
Moonlight and
Moonlight.
Lady Bird.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, the
I
thing that I
mean-
was gonna say, the problem is what they've done in recent years. Okay, so the Moonlight year, they were like, oh hey, we have this movie Moonlight, and I can't remember like what other movies came out, but it was literally like, hey, we're gonna put all our efforts into focusing on Moonlight. And then with Lady Bird, like Lady Bird was the one where they were like, hey, we're gonna focus on Lady Bird getting nominated,
Mhm.
which translates. So the problem is because they were like, I don't know if you saw this, Evan, but I forget how many movies, I think I found it. They were trying to get like 10 or 12 different movies nominated for things, and it's like,
What
guys,
year
the
was
last, which one?
What year are you talking about?
This year. They
This
were
year?
trying to get 12 films nominated for things. It's
Yeah.
like, guys, Gloria Bell is not going to get any Oscar.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Like
Don't
yeah.
waste any time on that. Like, what
Yeah,
are you
I
doing?
know. I know.
God.
I know what you mean, but I don't know if that's just like for general awards or whatnot. I mean, they just have an issue. Like, I don't like. I definitely agree that the Farewell is. I mean, I love Uncut Gems, so like it's a little biased there, but like the Farewell is definitely a type of movie that should definitely be like honored at the Oscars for sure. But like The Lighthouse, I mean, I also love it a lot, but it's too much of a genre film, and I think Uncut
Mhm.
Gems
For
is
sure.
the same way. It's also too much of a genre
Yeah.
film because it's just like it's like gritty crime thriller that's like way out there. Like it's just not gonna like happen. But I mean, The Lighthouse did get nominated, so good for them.
It did. That's the thing. Like, they're like, see, we got one, I guess.
But also, I don't really know what happened with the whole Farewell thing because I mean, it got nominated a bunch at like the Golden Globes and stuff. So like, I don't really know what happened there. So
It did.
Yeah.
I was. Oh, man,
makes
I'm
sense.
still upset.
It's kind of like how 8th grade was last year. That was the movie that they weren't pushing hard enough.
oh yeah, yeah. It
They
was
Yeah,
won a
listen,
bunch
8th
of
grade-
awards before the Oscars and then got nothing at the Oscars. I remember
that was
Bo Burnham was accepting like an award or something, and he was like, "Have fun at the Oscars, losers!" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, he knew. But yeah, no, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to move us to another thing where me, Lindsay, and Theo are gonna pick decade in review picks.
Oh, doing that now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not pre-recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, but see y'all.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Stay.